Look, dude, you guys need to leave. Whoever's messing with people's heads like that, they're using our fucking bodies as a conductor, electrical source, to use us like a telephone. Like they're trying to mind control us and like force dreams, force deja vu, force meant to be's, trying to control situations to where they'll see somebody in position and then threaten them and then shock people in the head, shock people in the hearts, and just like make them sick, put pressure on you, and then use these vibrating sounds and noises to freeze your like mind and like make you like paralyze you in some sense. Like it's stupid, dude. And they could leave because God said it. And I don't doubt God for a second, because I'm the one that predicted the pandemic in 2016 when God told me very directly and personally. And he's telling me that you guys can leave because you're fucking rotten pieces of shit. And the pandemic actually happened in 2020 and it killed tons because people get careless. You need to stop. Because what you're doing is very toxifying. It just creates confusion. That shit creates wars for no reason. You're taking your blessings for granted. And you're gonna get older. And what you're doing is toxifying the young ones. And life moves very fucking rapidly. I know it's not even like a selected handful. I keep hearing the same frequent voices. I don't know if it's pre-recorded on like the surroundings or certain individuals to confuse whoever's thinking too hard about it. It shouldn't be hard to catch these idiots because they're obviously behind a computer, microphones, doing some. They say like, I'm doing it on purpose, supposedly, when I'm getting shocked right here. And then they can make you sound just like them by overriding your vocal cords. After they tap into your bloodstream and use you as a conductor, they can make you sound exactly like them. They can force dreams. They could, just make you believe all this toxic shit, make somebody innocent look so guilty as you're trying to critical think on, well, how this happened, how did that happen, and like they'll just literally dumb you down, blind you in some sense. It keeps you from life when everybody needs their undivided attention, from getting and making sure everybody's cared for. Because when you get old, whoever you are, I'm talking to you fucking directly, whoever the fuck is out here, messing with people's heads and shit. You're gonna get old and you're gonna toxify your community, and rapid new life keeps coming in. And who's to say, a group of new kids are gonna think and become just as toxic as you, and then disease spreads, people get careless, and then it's gonna be very time consuming to eliminate all that disease, so to get people back on the same page. You need to stop wasting your fucking time. Stop wasting everybody's fucking time, man. It all comes down to the lack of remaining constant in the good word, the lack of education to remaining constant on education, because new life keeps coming rapidly. That's why the helping hands and manpower need to be directed constantly the right way. Healthy habits as you see every single day. The troops and law officials on the ground, they know they're in great standing, providing job opportunity. That's how everything becomes understandable. That's how I know it. What is it, like somebody that got enlisted in the reserves, did their 4 years or 1 year in law or border patrol, and then they, then they become a citizen again, and then they work for these labels and celebrities in a sense. There's no fucking celebrities. There's no such thing as somebody being fucking famous and favored more than somebody else. When you're with God, you're gonna understand that it gets very, very fucking single too. To where you desperately need to get along with every single individual and know the importance of every single individual before all your blessings get taken away. And people don't even fucking take you serious. That's why you fucking hide like a bitch. That's why you're over here like, that's why you're over here hiding behind us. They already know who you are. And everybody in the world is pissed. Because you're putting they're putting us in harm's way. For no reason, man. And we just build, construct, and we lead. That's way more effective than somebody entertaining some stupid ass narrative, and then they say, oh, you don't know what we see, you don't know, we saw all that fucking bullying too. And you're not gonna silence me. I'm the reason why everybody in the world is fucking alive right now. God is not a fucking game. Life is not a game. And it's all for life. Understanding after PT and combat training is done, it remains in PT and combat training. And then in real life, we care. And we lead. Great leadership. Great relationships built everywhere in the whole world. No games are being played. Because if you misguide, over time they're going to recognize if you were full of shit or if you meant well. It's fucking obvious as fuck to everybody in the world that you're a fucking bitch. And you're gonna burn in hell and suffer. And all you see is kindness, great leadership, great opportunities. You don't even know how you got blessed in the first place. That's not even the half of it. There's some people out here don't even understand. They think, you know, they grab a weapon and then they're all fucking toxified, and then like it only takes a fucking second to be very impulsive and to ruin your whole life and your great future taken away from you. It only takes a fucking split second, dude. And then they're already confusing our surroundings. Fucking poor leaderships. People put in position and they don't even know how to lead. And then the moment you fucking glorify them, all they think about is like a fucking sex thing. They just want to like fuck, and then that's it. And then they don't even fucking focus. See how fucking desperate they are for a good life that we hyped up because there's work needing to be done? Mr. Roman from the Bible, dude, stays on the ground when I could be living lavish more than the richest person in the whole fucking world. But since you don't understand the fact of keeping the world healthy, the fact that we need to remain constant because new life keeps coming in very, very rapidly, there's people to always constantly teach. It's no different. I'm no fucking favorite either. It's God every turn. We made a fucking promise a long time ago before anybody was born with all of our families that we leave it in the foundation through education, through the rules that need to be followed so we can all be respected and cared for and our consumptions can be respected and cared for. Get all that shit out of your fucking head. And a lot of you just base it off of whatever you see to this day. A fucking movie, and then you act exactly just as stupid as what you saw a fucking dope boy be. You act exactly what you saw a fucking supposedly gangster be, right? And you're only basing it off a fucking movie that we fucking dished out. It's part of the good word. And you already know the fucking outcome. You're fucking predictable, dog, and you're a fucking bitch, whoever you are. You don't deserve to live. Then you make me fucking sound like a fucking bird and shit with sound and fucking vibration. What did God say? God said, vengeance is mine. And that was God, the creator of you fucking dumbass. So that's why I won't fucking conform to shitty ways. What did the Romans say in the Bible? Don't be overcome by evil. Instead, overcome evil with good. And that guarantees you a great life. Because nobody entertains fight, war, or anything. That crime, pointless deaths over drugs overdose, people going missing, that's going to be eliminated completely. And everybody going through it should be voicing out themselves. Or they're just going to blame you and just hype you up with compliments for the time being temporarily until, you know, all that heat comes off of them, and then they'll just point it on you. And you deserve a great life. And we're the ones that fucking bless you. So we know how to take care of all that shit. And the reason you're even fucking alive today. So get the fuck out of here. You just robbed yourself from fucking life. Because you don't fucking listen, man. And then they don't know what else. They don't even know how else to do it. Then they call people that they get it from broke. And that's your source of fucking income. Why don't you treat everybody nice? That's how it keeps coming. You already attained it, right? That's the life you desperately want, like everybody else. We don't need no food for thought or no fucking attention. What did you expect from God? They're over here fucking dishing out billions, trillions off of shitty equipment just to adapt to shit when we already know how to never see it. It all comes down to great leadership. Tell the fucking originators. When shit got real fucking fast for no reason, they couldn't explain why. They were dead before they reached the ground. They saw that. We saw that. Nothing was getting done. No life seen. That doesn't guarantee a happy life. It just toxifies the surroundings. It becomes a healthcare risk, an airborne healthcare risk for everybody. So they had to come to common ground and realize, because it's the fucking stupidest, obvious fucking situation that shouldn't even happen in the first place. Where are we getting, man? It wasn't our fault. Let's end it. Alright? And then we're both gone. And everybody else not entertaining all that shit keeps on living a great life. keeps on enjoying life. When you get all that shit in your head, get all that shit out of your head. All that fucking pisses everybody off. But we get nowhere on impulsive ways. We get nowhere. Just like we just get more places and more endless possibilities and more greatness and guarantee stability, and nothing happens when we ignore it and we continue being there for each other. Because whoever it is obviously doesn't shut the fuck up, and I ain't even listening to none of it. So at this point, you're just fucking making shit up in your own head. At this point, you're just like thinking this and that, and it's just not even what it is. Because you're all being ignored. Whoever's trying to communicate with me like that. We stay with God, and God very directly. That's the only one that keeps everything going smoothly. If it was up to me and I knew exactly who you were, I'd end your fucking life today. And it just sucks how you wanted to get away with that shit. So you pitch a fucking pretty narrative to new employees, and then you threaten them, and it's not even their fault. We don't deserve to fucking live, man. We don't deserve a great life. Just rest in peace. What did you expect? You're going against everything that you want or love or need. Nobody even gives a fuck if you're like think you're loved or cared for other than the next person. Newsflash, everybody has it great like that. That's why you're always angry, because you're focused on life that's not meant to be lived by you. You're a whole different person. I'm a whole different person. They're a whole different person. You don't know them. Don't confuse yourself. Why don't you follow the rules like we all have to do, so we can all be left alone. You can go impress the shit just like you. Because at this point, you're a fucking piece of shit. You don't even want to live life. Sometimes that happens. When you're just focusing on shit too much, you become the shit. You're talking low frequencies like a little bitch. Understanding why you need to know the weapon is important to know. When obvious problems present themselves, you eliminate the healthcare risk. Simple. And then it's back in PT. But what we're really trying to do is be kind and caring for all and lead it by example. Disease prevention. Making sure everybody's under healthy living standards, making sure everybody's following the rules for their own health care and life to be guaranteed a great life. You ain't scaring shit. You ain't scaring shit. You're just wasting your fucking time talking to yourself, to be honest. And everybody's ignoring you. And we forgave you every single day, but you never fucking listen. Get the fuck out of people's mind frames, dude. And you could leave. And I know that's a fact, and you're making people think like, oh, it's permanent. Because you're in their fucking, like, vessel and temple, dude. You're gonna fucking burn in hell, like a little bitch, dog. Like, straight up. You don't even know how to live your life. And you fell for what? Like, a luxurious life? That's why you guys are fucking stay talking and joking around and shit. Because you're scared. So you ran in denial. So now you stay stuck in denial like a little girl. Because you can't even handle life. You guys need to, like, you know, when you're going through that, understand you need to stay calm, silent, just breathe. Let that knowledge and wisdom and direction flow with God. And you're going to notice how they try to control you in a sense, but it ain't working with God. That'll never work with God. And then you'll notice, like, they throw pixels and pictures, like, to, you know, to have you act on impulse. Dude, it only takes a fucking second to pull the trigger, man. It's not fair to us when we didn't take no shortcuts. We understand very well new life. We're best of friends everywhere internationally. And it's so worth it. Now instead of eating those packet foods, it allows us to get livestock, hunt for our meals, use our resources the healthiest way, use our knowledge the healthiest way, knowing we'll never need a lot of training because we already know how to never see it. We get deployed, spread the good word, billboards up, making sure we build them home, take a picture with you know, our troops and the beautiful happy family, you know, and then they're happy, healthy foods, they want to keep living on it. Well, they have to, you know, keep building for the rest of us and the rest of them, and then stay planting. And it's through these constant education reminders that is very important, that also eliminates all disease too. Super, super important for everybody to remain used to each other and to always lead by example. When you see shitty narratives, dude, it's gonna be obvious what's shit and short-lived. There's gonna be a lot of times where you as a new employee, like, you're gonna have to, like, put your foot down and be like, you know, dude, that's short-lived. We're better off, you know, meeting common ground, or, you know, totally disregarding that topic or scenario and leading. You can indirect teach, you can lead and build, and dude, there's gonna be a lifetime of work. You need to accumulate different languages. You need to educate in these different languages. You need to keep on building when homes get old. You need to rebuild old roads and make them brand new. Grass needs to keep getting cut. People need to stay always focused on healthy habits. You need to work out. And the worst ones are those people that like they're feeling the knowledge the same like as everybody else, but then they act like a fucking bitch, like, oh, I can't control, my urges, or like they get all fucking stupid. Know that we all went through that together. So just knowledge, dude. Work out until exhaustion. Run until exhaustion. Why don't you choose those healthy habits when God's very present right in front of you? That's exactly when God says, hey, now let me see you. You want the easy way, man. You always want to be in your comfort zone. You always want to be like running from it. We don't run from no reflection. That's why we stay very, very calm throughout anything, dude. We're not gonna have one or two fuck it up for the rest of us. The fuck out of people's heads, man. Of course God was gonna fucking put you on blast. A lot of fucking people died, man, for no reason. Wars were created for no fucking reason. And I don't want you to be blaming anybody right now, because chances are whoever did that is already making somebody look guilty, and then they're trying to confuse people already and put words in our mouth. So just give it to God, and you make everybody look like a great person. They obviously lost the concept of the great value that every individual has. It's God every turn. That's why God is very present, live in the flesh, every turn, every individual. It is a blessing and a privilege to go outside of the house and to get along and learn and live a great, beautiful life with God every turn. When I'm talking to her, I'm talking to God. When I'm talking to him, I'm talking to God. When I'm talking to the animals, I'm talking to God. Understand with the right direction also comes with the good word remaining very firmly constant every single day. The constant education every single day. If something happens out of nowhere that we can't explain, was the lack of that constant education, the lack of the good word. There's movies that get very fucking scary. There's education, real life examples of what really happened in the forests, coming across animals, coming across this and that get very fucked up. Remain constant. There's no reason for anybody to misdistribute their attention and then forget the importance that, hey, people working at Burger King, McDonald's are just super fucking important, man. They're really important. They're the ones that are saving the world every day too. It's not like, oh, now we've accumulated this much funds, so now we can release some funds to go ahead and increase your wages. No. That's why you keep communicating with your partners, and your partners are every single person, even the employee, that's desperately needed now more than somebody that's supposedly the founder. I'm one of the respected, loyal founders of Everybody's Family's Friend, but dude, I'm literally I know the value. Dude, that's God, and they're way more important than somebody that's just over here saying they're this and that. I've accumulated this much possessions. Dude, it's bullshit. You still can't even keep it if you're gonna be treating the rest of the world and the people that you desperately need like shit. and they can't even afford like a healthy living, and that was fucking embarrassing to see. I came as an employee to Burger King, and I was like, hey, I'm here for a job. How much do you pay an hour? And on Google before I went, because this is important to remain constant in, because anything can become a health risk. And I'm over here, I Google it, how much does an employee at Burger King make? And they said $15 an hour here in Texas. And then I go in person, and then they say $9 an hour. So they're not even following that. That's not even half of it. Because the healthiest way to increase your wages is every staff member, manager, and owner of that establishment, when there's no such thing, but every staff, $10, $20 every pay period, separate account in the bank, put that in the separate account in the bank, and for a guaranteed wage increase every 3 months. We already know every check we spend it on a fast food, a night out, way more than somebody needs to. Come on, be real with yourself. I do not mind paying $10, $20 every pay period for a guaranteed wage increase every 3 months. Nobody minds that. You need that proper direction, you need that proper leadership, and you need to understand and not take your life for granted. You need to understand that new life keeps coming in, and you're gonna get older. If you keep becoming careless, dude, it's gonna get all toxic. Rules that were supposed to be followed are not gonna be followed. We're seeing that today. I'm at it every single fucking day, man. I'm one of the reasons why everybody in the whole world's alive right now. People got careless. You need to listen. Because nobody's playing with your life. We're guaranteeing you 0 risk to your health, God's health, great life. Explained, you already see it very clear. No risk. These are very healthy habits, healthiest ways. And we're all on it with all of our families together. It's a together thing, not a team, not a country. It's a together thing with all our neighbor countries around the world. You get along with one another. They say, we got a team for you. You know what I tell them? No, we're no team. Everyone gets presented to the world. You're the world's now. Everyone. No team, no country, you're the world's now. Now you treat everybody with respect and be kind to everybody. Because they'll be really cool with you. You just need to do it healthy, man. There shouldn't be nobody homeless. Everybody presenting themselves into their establishment, you take them in and you hire them. Every business needs a building company partnered with the bank. And then after we're all building and everything's great, we need still people to keep on teaching all those great traits to the new life that keeps coming in rapidly, dude. It keeps coming in rapidly. You need to stay focused on the right direction. And that'll always, always be. You're going to have a very great, fruitful life. Animals need to be cared for. Their surroundings need to be cared for. Their plants and foods need to be replanted and cared for. All they need is water and food to live a long, great life. I'll tell you where those fucking injections and medications came from. It's natural nutrients that their body already produces. But the reason why it had to happen, supposedly, to some, is to reach and fulfill the masses to distribute everybody to be hungry, or it'll create conflict. Now people are fighting over food. If you keep that head shit going, now people are going to be fighting over males, females, because there's an imbalance. You keep becoming careless and keep calling the people that you just desperately need broke, or you don't know what you're talking about. What a poor leader to say that, right? No, instead, hey, I understand where you're coming from. That's very toxic. I don't know who's jealous of you, but hey, get rid of that narrative. We're going to make sure you're okay and you're set for life. We're going to make sure we build you a nice big home. You want to keep living on it? Keep working with us side by side to provide the same opportunities for the other community. Life is not just going to stop, dude. We don't want nobody to be thinking in their head, hey, population control. Fuck that shit. That means you're not walking with God. Dude, everybody can live in a fucking palace on acres, man. Every single person, even single families, can live on acres in a mansion. You're not walking with God, dog. You guys are not fucking walking with God if you're in doubt. You should never fucking doubt God. It's the reason why every one of you in the world is living today. I'm talking to all military, all police, all law enforcement, all border patrol, with the detainees and people all together. You guys would not be living and defining the way you come out if you weren't basing it off of everything presented to this day. Take all that shit out of your head, man. You know what's short-lived already? We already have so much fucking examples. At this point, there's gonna be a lot of people that are gonna look fucking stupid and retarded. They gotta hear it. Some of it's not gonna be their fault. They were listening to fucking orders and they wanted to keep their house and family, but they got killed along the way because they were listening to some fucking poor leader. Understand why your training is very important. It's only to not be like psyched out and you can like execute any healthcare risk when the problem presents itself very obviously. And you know how problems always present themselves very obviously, without assumptions, without being pulled and like controlled and being like, oh, over he say, she say. When we're all getting along, when we're all friends in great relationships. Completely taking all that shit out of our head, leaving it in PT, making sure everybody's cared for. That's how you always see the obvious problem. But don't focus on any of that, because we will never see war or conflict or sickness other than the common cold with the seasons. We'll never see any of that ever again. We build, give to the detainee first. They want to keep living in that great house. They keep building with us for the rest of the community. And that'll fill your pockets up. It'll give you some time to think. Dive into some architecting. Everything just brand new, always. Everything very clean and spotless, always. There's work to be done. This is the right direction. We already have the helping hands and manpower and great relationships. And we will always remain in great standing with everybody in all of our neighbor countries. Always, it is a must. We don't want the new life and new employees. And I know you understand that very clearly, some of you. Because you're feeling all that knowledge when you're taking orders from somebody that's very younger than you. Right? It's a blessing. So make sure you don't waste your time and misdirect. Because every time, anywhere, we see their uniform, they see our uniform, and the people are like, yes, now I'm gonna have a big house. Now I'm gonna have a job opportunity to take care of my family. I'm gonna take care of the animals, feed the animals. We can join, the Olympics, the sports. We can do all of this. Anything that keeps the people together is always worth it. So don't confuse yourself. Increase wages internally, the healthiest way. In every endeavor that you come across, you're going to do that same healthy pattern on the wages. And you already know how to get public funding for your real estate projects. Those establishments are getting old. Soon enough, they're going to have to be taken down completely. You're going to have to rebuild. There's tons of work to be done in the healthiest manner and the right way. Helping hands and manpower is all we are. And that is public safety. And that is serving your country. And that's God. God every turn. When they see the uniform, anywhere, any uniform, the people are like, oh, they're so nice. They're so understanding. I'm going to get a job opportunity for sure. No doubt. And then they get excited. And then they, have stability. They get taken care of very well. They don't want to go anywhere else. And with that, we legalize all healing plants, brews, foods, vegetables, with all drugs coming into the pharmacies, making sure they're lab tested by professionals, distributed in the right way. If it's trash, it's completely disposed. We don't want anybody out there creating a drug that's going to be harmful and poisonous to the public. And with that comes remaining constant on the good word. Put it in a movie how somebody took advantage of some medication and they overdosed, and it was just horrific and glorifying. And remain constant, because all of these good fruits that were for life need to be respected and understood. That's all it comes down to when you hear shit popping off or you can't understand some fucking stupidity. Is because people were lacking remaining constant on the good word and constant on the education, because new life keeps rapidly coming in. Now everybody's problems everywhere in the world is solved, man. Now we can have amusement parks in the public park. Now we can have like make it retro style, or dude, have fun, make it fun, Clothes still need to be made. How about we all accumulate the same skills, and to establish that healthiness and good relationships internationally, we can, do intervals every year, every certain terms. One term of a year or 3 years, you're in retail. The next term, you're in, food. The next term, you're in event planning and fun events. The next 3 years, you're in, in fitness. The next 3 years, you're in customer service. The next 3 years, you're in, taking care of marine life under the sea. Planning. Next life, you're, you're over here, caring for our consumption with the doctors and pharmacists and, chemists. It's important that we all remain equally educated. Because if we don't, then we suffer the repercussions of dealing with somebody's toxified narratives and their paranoia. I don't doubt there's other people in position that they fucking trying to ruin our fucking times, man. But we're just ignoring it. There's too much life on the line. There's too much risk listening to all that chatter and entertaining those, false narratives. People need their undivided attention on their tasks. We don't need no pointless investigations. I can't believe they made that a thing. That was created when they were called. Not for you to be out here listening, or just not even, dude. Like, I think you're just like, you can't just do that to life and like create conflict or like favorite whoever wanted to make money with us and then go fucking spy on somebody over their own paranoia or their own benefit, and then you can't just like create conflict and confusion off of peaceful environments. It all comes down to the lack of constant good word, constant education. Nobody can explain that, man. Like somebody like blessed that has a great life to live, like I know, like they, it's not like, it's everybody's like frustration. Just end it immediately. And just know it's from God, whatever happens to you.